So, after 3 months later, ever since I've last uploaded this in June and likes of February, but even then though, I'm finally back into this game. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey, obviously for the Nintendo Switch. Sorry for a little bit of a, tongue twisting in the end, folks. So yes, last time we actually did manage to completely done with the forms of the most mandatory missions in the forms of Wooded Kingdom, in this case Steam Gardens, and also we've managed to collect ourselves continuation of collecting those power moons and all that stuff, which is essentially the blue colors. And yeah, today for this episode, folks, is the fact that we're going to be continue on with the forms of Wooded Kingdom for a shorter amount of time, because even then though, there's not much else we can do throughout besides, obviously just about to be collecting more of those power moons, obviously. Yeah, I'm finally glad to be back in this game at long last, because even then though, that I think the reason why I decided to able to wait for this game to come back for a little bit of a short while, because of obviously continuation of these Let's Plays by the forms of, Kingdom Hearts, and we've recently managed to finish up with the forms of, Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, by the continuation of the forms of the Kirby Let's Plays Marathon, because after all, that the next one in the lineup, and that's the forms of, until when it gets to the very end of this month, for this particular point of May, we're now going to be toggling through, Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland eventually, as some consideration for that. So even though, that's as far as I can mainly, trying to say for this point there, and apologize if my, footage starts to a little bit more laggy around here, but even though, I couldn't help it for myself of how the fact that my capture card can get pretty hiccupy sometimes. But anyway, from the first power moon we're going to be getting for this video is this one right there, which even then, this mission is called Rolling Rock in the Woods. In this case, our next Wooded Kingdom's power moon. See, Fernando, I'm probably not going to get as much power moons as far as we can get by this point, because even then though, we've pretty much done almost the majority of some of these mandatory missions that we can able to actually go for this point. Well, it wasn't until when we actually get to the later portion of the game, but first off, let's go ahead and buy from the region coins though anyway. I might as well spend it on, so what, I'm actually going to be buying the scientist outfits, which even then though, not only for the actual hat itself, but also the really cool outfit suit itself. I'm assuming this is actually something that's more accurately based off from, I'm assuming something related to the Starter-View, commercial back in during the likes of Super Nintendo or something like that. Or maybe I might be thinking of something else. And also I did manage to buy myself my next, souvenirs by the forms of, well, not so much souvenirs, it's more accurately a decoration of, Odyssey itself at this point. So even though that we've pretty much done with that, let's see what else we can do here. When I was going to be talking for some more things, I might as well teleport from all the way to, in the specific points right there, but in forms of that, almost towards the actual flower garden of any kind. And now we can able to actually just take this seed over, because even then though, we've pretty much clear out most of these tank-based enemies. Well, there's only one exception, and that was the forms of all the way down there. And there's no way we can able to destroy that from now on, though, because we've pretty much done with the forms of these tanks, pretty much, I'm assuming so. And now let's go ahead and take this biggest seed ever. Because of that, though, much like how we did in the forms of how the fact that back in during the likes of, the bottom portion of the forms of Wooded Kingdom, and we can able to actually just activate the P-switch, and once we get up there, not only do we get ourselves the forms of these, the next checkpoint flag, which usually takes place in Observation Deck, and also we get ourselves the regional coins as well, and let's go ahead and place this giant seed onto that specific, soil right there until we get ourselves a beanstalk. So, yeah, how about that then, huh? And yeah, we're going to be traversing for those clouds, because I can assuming we're actually going to go for the bonus area. So, yeah. Kudos to me. Kudos to me. Man, I really love this thing, because it's almost like a, nostalgic music is coming back by the forms of Super Mario World. By the forms of one of those bonus, levels music. So even then, I really do appreciate it by this fact. So there's some more region coins there. So we've only got about 21 regional coins left. So even though we haven't got too far on that one, but then again, collecting 100 rather of those regional coins. Although first off, we got ourselves another power moon above the clouds. And there's also another one over there, which, you know, as you expected from any other secret areas like this, usually contains like 2 power moons apiece. And there we go, walking on clouds. And I believe we've pretty much done there. So even though, thanks to we actually got into the actual cloudy portion of this specific area right there, we got ourselves a whole bunch of coins thanks to that area. It's actually a really great way to be able to actually get a lot of coins in this game, especially noticeable if it's like, you know, most of those costumes can get pretty expensive at this rate, especially noticeable that the latest updates usually adds in now, but in forms of more costumes to buy and all that stuff, which even then though, that might be seems the case, because even then though, this is a really great way to grind for more coins with. So, let's go ahead and glide all the way over there, because I actually spotted someone, but in forms of Captain Toad. It's actually the 3rd time we actually come towards him, or 4th time I should say. I'm not sure how I got here, but it's great such as a nice view and fresh air, which I honestly agree. Oh, and I found a power moon, would you like it? Yes, because I need that to able to power up more of my Odyssey stuff. Well, even then though, that's, I'm pretty sure we've already got, quite enough of those power moons until we move on to the next portion of this particular game itself, which by the looks of it though, the next kingdom we're going to be exploring through is the forms of the Lake Kingdom. So even though I might as well do that in the next video, not right now though, because I'm presuming we need to do some specific tasks I was missing out from, but in forms of this particular point of it though. So we've got 35 power moons in a wooded kingdom so far, so it's not too bad, not too shabby either. So if that's the case, then we've almost pretty much done with the majority of some of these mission requirements. Well, at least specifically some of those missions to be required from. So let's go ahead and long jump here, and hopefully I can make my leaps of faith. Oh god, I almost screwed myself over. Okay then, so I'll take it then. So there's another power moon right there, the nuts that grew on a tall fence. So nice one for me, just nice one for me. And if we go down here, I'm assuming there might be some more regional coins if I can spot them. There they are down there. Sometimes the regional coins, especially noticeable with the larger kingdoms, can get pretty spaced out, I will admit though. But even then though, it's not that much of a big of a deal, I will admit though, until now. But anyways, let's go see and double check what's in, I'm assuming over there, because I think we've actually ignored that on the forms of whenever I first visit this place. Let's go ahead and insert Cappy onto this scarecrow, and able to actually access this area. So even then, the only enemy we can face off with is the forms of Fire Bro, and once we do that, we got another power moon right there. So even then, let's see what this mission's called. It's Fire in a Cave. Get it? Because of your forms of it usually takes place in a cave environment, and especially noticeable we having a one-on-one fight against with the Fire Bro itself. So today was actually forms of the 17th of May 2018, so we've only got one more day left, in this case tomorrow though anyway, that Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Nintendo Switch should be releasing tomorrow, which even then though, that I recently, in a couple of days ago, I've recently managed to pre-order that game, just like the likes of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Switch. In fact, I did manage to take a break on Tropical Freeze for a little while because of how the fact that, well, it's gone busy work, but in forms of not only for Kong letters, but also but in forms of the puzzle pieces here and there as well. But I might as well do hard mode on my other time, on my own time, so just in case I need to able to get a lot of practice on whenever I play the Wii U version of Tropical Freeze. So I believe we got ourselves a little bit of a berry blocked over there, which even then, I'm presuming we do need the tank to actually capture with, but in forms of actually possessing the tank. So even then, if that's the case, then we could able to potentially bust out of this little particular, you know, block right there. So that should be good to go there. So yeah, why not? I'm also able to get myself a rocket flower right there, so just in case I can speed things up a little bit. But Not as quite as heavenly, though, I will admit, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually just to get my hands on Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I'm probably not going to touch upon the Switch version just yet, because, two reasons mostly. The reason number one being is the fact that I haven't really touched upon the Wii U version or the new Nintendo 3DS version, or in this case for this matter, the 3DS versions of the games just yet though, because I haven't really completed them yet. But don't worry, we'll get to the Nintendo Switch version when I play that on my own time, don't worry though. And aside from that, until when it gets to 2019, which should be next year, I've might as well able to actually decide to tackle through Hyrule Warriors on the Nintendo Switch as far as Let's Play is concerned, because normally, you know, it contains every single content between the Wii U and the 3DS versions, so even then at first I thought to myself, yeah, I might as well do that. Especially noticeable how the fact that how big that version can be. Especially noticeable, yeah. Inside a rock in a forest. Okay, so that's what this mission's called, because, you know, you need to capture the tank first until you're able to actually get to this portion of Wooded Kingdom, and then eventually we can able to bust out this rock, and there you go then. Alright, that's that done. And now let's move on to let's try and double check up there, just in case if we're actually missing on something, most notably by the forms of some of those regional coins that I've always attempt to miss out, because it's really easy to lose track of yourself if you manage to able to find those regional coins if you ever haven't played that game for quite some time, which I stress that this sorry, can't speak today, folks. I will admit though right away though is that again it's been about 3 months since I've actually last time I've played this, and especially noticeable I've actually gone back to Let's Play on this because, well, I've already mentioned about this before about the fact that still continue on with the Kirby Marathon Let's Plays we're going to be doing, which, at this point we're now going to be moving on to the next Kirby game, or dare I say, a remake of Kirby's Adventure, but in forms of, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance, so hopefully that particular Let's Play will be up until then, but not now though, but even then, no, that can wait until, as I mentioned this before, the end of May, until Nintendo's E3 2018 will be on its way. So, speaking of which, is that I can't believe how the fact that with the forms of do you remember back during the likes of E3 2017 that normally it did announce, Super Mario Odyssey trailer, which I found is super amazing back then. Which I can't believe that trailer was almost a year old now, which even then, it still looks pretty awesome even to this day, especially noticeable how the fact that, back in 2017 E3, normally it just mainly focuses on, at the very end at least, managed to focus on Super Mario Odyssey to finish up with, which I think is actually really awesome, but even then, at this point until when it gets to, E3 2018, we're expecting that it might be containing a lot of focus on Super Smash Bros. Until at the very end of that presentation or something like that, so there we go, we've got another Power Moon tucked away inside the tunnel. Which, yes, we do need to get ourselves the onion enemy right there until we're able to actually just reach higher up in some areas like that. So, there's not much else to be saying about this. Although, I've recently managed to able to watch myself a brand new trailer of the forms of Mario Tennis Aces for the Nintendo Switch. And let me tell you right off the bat though, I was actually looking forward to the new trailer actually pops up, but in forms of Mario Tennis Aces, because, well, sure, it says the exact same ways as how it does in the forms of Nintendo Directs in the forms of, 8th of March for sure, but on the other hand though, they did add something new features to a change, but in forms of more details about the story mode, or it's now calls it adventure mode, because even then, what happens is in the forms of the actual main adventure mode in Mario Tennis Aces is the fact that it revolves around Luigi managed to carry himself this particular I would say the legendary racket or some kind, which even then though it's more accurately a golden metallical racket, that he goes to hold one of them, and then what happens is though is the fact that after holding it for quite a while, and then something chaos is about to be happening, but it forms of how the fact that I would say Luigi got possessed by the dark power by the forms of this particular legendary racket, which even then, that might be a little bit more different for a storyline as opposed to the ones in both Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color, and especially noticeable with Mario Power Tennis for the Game Boy Advance. It's just a very simple plot of how the fact they're most likely focusing on you and the player, like, you know, by the forms of certain other people player, normally anticipated by the forms of certain skills of tennis skills, which even though in order to actually just to have a little bit of a final match between the Mario characters at the very end, so even though you're like, you know what ones I'm talking about, by the forms of certain RPG type of Mario Tennis games by both, you know, Game Boy Color and especially noticeable by the forms of Mario Power Tennis or Mario Tennis Power Tour for the Game Boy Advance for those who lived in North America by this particular point. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how that turns out, and also that I managed to recently spotted that Spike is going to be in a playable debut, which is definitely true. Because what I found is kind of odd though is the fact that in the back in during the likes of in 2012, that in the forms of the game called Mario Party 9 for the Nintendo Wii, and basically one of those playable characters in the forms of Mario Party 9 contains is Kamek, which sure is a little bit odd to be able to actually just to add him to the playable debut. Well, at least he'll become non-playable in Mario Party Island Tour, and especially noticeable with Mario Party 10, and especially noticeable with Mario Party Star Rush, and there's no sign of him at all in the top 100 because of due to the actual classicness involved. But, you know, reimagining of any kind. So, anyways though, so before I talk about anything about this, let's go ahead and just distract the T-Rex, and so as soon as he's able to get dizziness, or even in his case, for this matter, if he will get tires out, then I would able to actually just to capture him, and then I think we actually missing out quite a few power moons in the forms of the deep woods sections, even then I should probably able to establish that. So, okay, let's go ahead and just, whoa, almost gonna kill me. I think he's down. I think he's got tired. So now let's go ahead and just smash through everything right there, including the likes of that specific breakable rock that was actually at the very top, as far as I can see that from here. There we go. And now we can able to ground pound this glowing part. Oh great, T-Rex is actually blocking it. I don't believe that. Anyways though, so we can just simply just move him over. So even though, there we go, we can get some space. So even though that way we can get ourselves the glowing parts to start off with, but with a power moon inside. So there we go then, by a bumbling brook in deep woods. Alright then, so of course we can't able to actually teleport for different checkpoint flags because normally we're still in a part of the wooded kingdom, but there's no way we can able to get out of deep woods for surely. So now you remember how the fact that we've already briefly done by the forms of how the fact with this particular treasure for that specific plants, there's normally right over, if I can just before I do that actually, let me just go ahead and grab myself the another enemy to possess with by the forms of let's just say a coin thief back here, which thankfully we've actually got him by the way, and even then we got a few additional coins, which is super awesome. Now we still got ourselves, oh I did not meant to waste that, sorry. Now you know how the fact that I've already wasted all my coins by the forms of the last video. Now, good thing about this, for this particular objective, what I'm gonna be doing right about now, thankfully it saves your progress if you're most able to run out of your coins, which even then has always been a good thing. And especially noticeable how the fact that since we've got over 500 coins at this rate, that way we should able to actually finish this particular plant off before you're able to actually achieve the power moon itself. So I wonder what that could be for this little suggestions for this rating for that point. So okay, so it looks like we've almost there. So even then though, let's just keep on spitting out you know, coins at this particular plant here. So this might take a little bit long while. And so when it gets to this particular point there, now we've now actually reached onto that specific golden pith right there. So that way, if we actually reach that golden part right there, this means that we've almost there until we're able to actually achieve the power moon itself. So things should be done by now. There we go. Everything's accomplished. So now let's go ahead and just get ourselves a few additional coins. In fact, let's go ahead and grab those quickly before we grab ourselves a power moon. So we'll just have to grab onto the tree. And booyah! There we go. We got ourselves the next power moon. A treasure made from coins. I don't know how much coins you have to reach for, but for that specific objective right there. But I'm also able to research on that as soon as I'm able to actually find things out. So, anyways, back into what I was saying, but in forms of the Mario Tennis Aces, sorry. About the fact that, it might be a little bit different for this point, although it still requires the leveling up system, but in forms of Mario Tennis Aces, sorry, I can't speak today. I just really can't stress that enough, how the fact that I was really excited by the forms of Mario Tennis Aces at this rate, because even now, we haven't got that long until that game's finally been released. So even now, expecting it might actually contain that in the forms of the playable E3 demo, in the forms of E3 2018. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. So, but anyways though, it might still contains the, you know, the leveling up system, and especially noticeable by the fact that, Mario can actually now able to actually equip different, all kinds of rackets, which even I know that, that could be something for the later portion of the forms of the adventure mode and stuff like that. And also, I've spotted that Glooper Blooper makes a return. Jeez, about freaking time ever since, well, I think last time we actually saw, Glooper Blooper was actually forms of Paper Mario Sticker Star. I think that was last time we actually saw him. But apart from that though, we haven't seen a Glooper Blooper in the forms of the 3D Mario environment since. So, yeah, at least back in during the likes of whenever he first appeared in the forms of Super Mario Sunshine after all. So, yeah, that's as far as I can mainly say about that for that point right there. And, yeah, that's as far as I can say. Now, according to the actual Mario Wikipedia, or in this case the Super Mario Wiki, what I've still managed to research upon this kinds of stuff, originally, that had the fact that one of my friends of mine, by the forms of either Daffy or Sonic the Hedgehog, managed to able to mention about the fact that, you know, they originally said about the fact that Bodo and Diddy Kong, and especially the Koopa Paratrooper was going to be playable in Mario Tennis Aces. Currently at the moment is currently unknown at the moment because of how the fact that it gets a little bit more confusing. For those of you ever able to actually spot it, the forms of the pre-order bonus item, for those of you ever trying to pre-order Mario Tennis Aces for Japan, and one of those pre-order items, although first before we get into this though, Southwestern Floating Islands, because we ended up transported into Sand Kingdom and get ourselves the secret path to Terresia, which even then we've already explained the body forms of some of these paintings. You can actually traverse through those different kingdoms, obviously. So even then, there goes that. So yeah, we're pretty much done with Sand Kingdom, at least for now though, until we get to later portions of this game. And let's head back to Wooded Kingdom to do some more things. So yeah, everything else will be doubly checked for this part, so yeah. Now, as far as I was trying to say this before, how the fact that, you know, that I was originally going to be really hyping that, Bodo and, Diddy Kong, and especially noticeable with, the Koopa Paratrooper is going to be playable in Mario Tennis Aces, but, I just get a strong sense of feeling how the fact that, I might be kind of worried of how the fact that those three will be not being playable, which I might as well worried about that, because even then, if they were playable, I will be perfectly fine with that. And especially noticeable, I was really hyped for it, because, you know, for some odd, stupid reason, is that in Ultra Smash, managed to kick out, Diddy Kong, and instead it's been replaced as the forms of a, Dry Bowser, which, I will admit though, Dry Bowser is completely unnecessary to me though, when it comes to playable choices in the forms of, certain Mario games, well, specifically in Mario spin-off titles, I should say, because they're more accurately... Dry Bowser is more accurately a reskin of the forms of just Bowser alone. Like, it already does that in the forms of ever since Mario Kart Wii, and all the way up to Mario Kart 8, and especially in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And especially noticeable by the forms of Mario Tennis Open, and even especially noticeable by the forms of, I would say, you know, I've already mentioned this before, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, aka the most bare-bones Mario Tennis game I've ever played. I was expecting that Mario Tennis Aces is still going to be a hell of a lot more better than the likes of Ultra Smash in my opinion, just because, well, I've heard that, you know, adventure mode is going to be exciting for me, though. And especially noticeable how the fact that, thankfully, you know, we've already established that before, that how the fact that I'm very grateful they've now actually included multitude of courts. It's not just like a different skins of the exact same environment tennis courts, which I'm really happy about. So even then, I'm really pleased to see how that turns out. So... And especially another thing I just want to mention about this is the fact that, I've noticed something by the forms of thanks to the Japanese website, in the forms of Mario Tennis Aces, website. Apparently, they're trying to be, making as a little bit of a rumor to actually make it into, 2 additional playable characters by both, Drybones and Shy Guy. We don't know exactly if that's going to be represented for, but even then, we'll find out until sooner or later. But for now, let's go ahead and do... I think I might as well do one more power move for this video, and specifically on the first visit to Wooded Kingdom for now on, though, because after that, then we're pretty much done for this point. So, yeah, as far as you already see me doing those timer challenges, even then, let's do them again. But this time we can swing from bar to bar, whilst in the forms of the second incarnation, because yes, we actually got ourselves Wooded Kingdom timer challenges 1 and 2. So even then, though, that timer challenge number 2 is basically we have to go through those little moving platforms, as far as I'm aware for those parts. So, yeah, I think for the most part, though, we might as well take a break on this kingdom for now on, though, because we've only got about 11 missions left, which, don't worry, I'll come back to this kingdom until the future points and onwards, because I really don't think there aren't any power moves I can really think of from the top of my head, because again, it's been a... You know, it's been 3 months since I've last touched this game, even especially noticeable coming back to this particular game as far as the Let's Plays, as far as I'm concerned. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and insert those power moons onto the Odyssey. So even then, that way we can able to actually get ourselves, we've got ourselves 144. Not bad of a number, but I could have gone more than that. But even then, no, I might as well able to get more until later on. But let's set sail. And as promised, let's go ahead and explore through the Lake Kingdom, as promised. See if we know that we're not going to do it right now, though, because I might actually save that for the next part, or for this, specifically for this matter, for this next video, though, anyway. So even then, off to Lake Kingdom. I wonder how beautiful that particular kingdom might as well will be, because even then, still, I'm really very impressed with the visual style in this game. Even especially noticeable that I've seen a lot of trailers in the forms of this game, especially noticeable before, you know, Mario Tennis Aces. But first off, let's go ahead and just have a discussion to make. So, yeah, as far as I can see how this will turn out, so yeah. To think that precious Suri Pratik was stolen, we can't let that Bowser keep doing whatever he wants. Okay, so, yeah, let's go ahead and just skip these little tutorial sequences right there. Next, we'll read up on the Lake Kingdom. It says they're known for their fashion, and oh, there's a famous wedding grin there called the Lurch Lady Dress. Okay then, so that's going to be the next wedding item we can able to go after for. Sorry for the lack of dialogue for this particular speech, because even though there were a few times though if I managed to able to actually just go ahead and yeah. So here we are at Lake Kingdom, aka, I don't know exactly what's another name for this particular point though, but I'll discuss more on that until the next video. So yeah, join me next time, Brutals over the lake. So that's going to be our mandatory mission we can go through here. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. It's the fact that we're going to be exploring through the Lake Kingdom. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later, fellas. Man, I'm really loving this so far.